This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick, joined by Kevin remotely as through the power of the internet, as we do, giving you the gaming news as we do every single week. We do this on Sunday morning live if you want to watch us on Twitch, and now Facebook Live. We're trying that for the first time, so let us know if you like that. Give us some comments, give us some love, tell us what we do wrong, because we need to know that as well.
Give us some likes, some angries, some sads, whatever reaction you want to throw up there. Just
all those things.
Do that.
All those things. Starting off, we got the Games with Gold coming to you, which really happy about that. Obviously, free games are always nice. That's not the Games with Gold. That's not either. Hi, how you doing?
Before we do the Games with Gold, they did a couple of new backwards compatible games. So we have Lego Indiana Jones 2.
Yep.
Games is always good. And then Split Second. Split Second.
Correct, which is on the Games with Gold list. Yeah, Lego games are always great. Racing games can be hit or miss. I mean, if you're a big racing fan, you're probably, I don't know. I haven't played Split Second, so
yeah.
We'll find out later.
It's not Burnout. It's not Burnout, so...
It's not Burnout, it's not Mario Kart, it's not it's not Mod Nation Racers, which was really fun too.
Yes, yes it was.
But, so we did get Shadow Warrior, which I don't know anything about, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm about... the idea of just like there's a lot of violence going on here, and
which, nothing wrong with a little bit of the old ultra violence.
But yeah, I'm curious how this works, so I'm looking forward to hearing your report on that, and our audience can also hear the report on this at the end of the month whenever we review all these.
Exactly.
The next one we have is Assassin's Creed Chronicles India.
That's right.
Which is one of the 2D ones.
Correct, which I've actually enjoyed. They are, like you said, they're 2D. It's very linear, but they're very fun because this is classic. This is old school Prince of Persia. I mean, I'm talking PC Prince of Persia, but with the amazingness of the new Prince of Persia in there. That's what I like about it, because when I first started playing Prince of Persia, it was on PC. I played Prince of Persia 1 and 2 on DOS. So. Yep. It's a nice throwback to me. Also got Split Second, which you mentioned. So more racing cars that go vroom. I'm curious. I haven't looked into this series, so I'm curious to see how it is and everything. But a series that I do know about in there. That's not.
I do know Crazy Taxi, but if I remember correctly, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. As I recall, the 360 port was not great.
Yeah, it was. It was clunky and mediocre. It was kind of like the Simpsons driving game that they did at one point, where it's a lot of mediocrity. Yeah. I heard the controls are really clunky, so I'll play it and let you know. I have to play 2 racing games this month. Honestly, this month for Games with Gold, excuse me, this month for Xbox and Games with Gold looks like trash. I mean, I'm gonna be it's. I'm gonna be honest. Great. I'm not digging that. So, I mean, let us know if you disagree, if you know more about these than we do. Because I'm really not looking forward to playing any of these, which means obviously my ideas will be colored by that. Yeah
Shadow Warrior has potential, like that could be interesting. But overall,
I'm hopeful on that, but we'll see. We'll see. We did get
the first main bit of news that we have is Banner Saga 3. That's coming out. They're working on the Kickstarter, and that's up and running. I went ahead and grabbed that for my phone so that I can at least play the first one, because it's got Austin Wintory doing the music. It was highly acclaimed when it came out.
Mm-hmm. You buy anything with him?
Almost. Yeah, he does. He does well. Because he did the music for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I bought it. So, yeah, maybe you're right.
You know what? Syndicate wasn't bad after 8 months. I mean, 8 or 9 months.
But I don't know that I could play it for 8 months.
No, I mean, like, if you waited 8 months, I mean,
I got
yeah.
it. But yeah, so the Kickstarter campaign has kicked off, and they're doing just have PC and Mac, but this is going to be like the closing of the trilogy, and they're gonna finish off the stories and everything. So, like I said, I went ahead and bought it on Android just to experience the story, experience the music, and see what all the hype is about.
Yeah, yeah.
And because it never came to Vita.
It never came to Vita. No,
they said they were going to, and it didn't.
I mean, I didn't get into the story. I mean, I think I didn't get into the story because I wasn't getting into the gameplay. I got it. I understood what they were doing.
Yeah,
like it didn't click for me where I just had to keep playing over like Monster Hunter. Spoilers, because we're going to talk about first impressions about Monster Hunter later. I could I played. I told Whitney I'm going to just do the intro and like the first mission, and like I just kept I didn't want to put the game down. I had to put the game down to do adulting and like chores and things. It's great. It's great. But yeah, good.
It's fun every once in a while when something like that you're pretty sure is going to be fun just like grabs a hold of you, and it's like, no, we are that fun. Yeah.
So, and it is.
I'm looking forward to playing that.
I can't wait for you to check it out. This Monster Hunter launched on Friday. We played the beta, which we enjoyed. And if you're playing on PlayStation, you have a timed, I believe it's till February 8th. Is that correct?
So you have like a week and a little bit.
A week and a little bit to unlock the Aloy character in there. I mean, really, let's be honest. It's cosmetic. So if you want to play as Aloy and you want your Palico, your cat creature, to be replaced with the little robot guy, do it. But Palico's like hardly in there.
And of course you do, because why wouldn't you?
Because I like my Palico. He's angry and he's judgmental and he's fun. I love him.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got some news from Microsoft. Microsoft's going to be rewarding people for playing free to play, similar to what Sony is doing in regards to their rewarding of people getting trophies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's this one is a bit more of a why don't you try this thing? And the answer is because I have real games. And yeah, I want to play those, but they're giving out rewards. It's supposed to be like $50,000 in rewards, but having looked into it, most of the rewards are in-game or loot boxes or stuff that's actually in the free-to-play games. So it's to get you into the free-to-play and then start the Skinner box, basically.
Yeah, And like you said, it's like, we don't want to do this. You're trying to reward us more for things, but we have backlogs of really good games that we'd rather play. I mean, Fortnite is fun, but
yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm going to jump ahead and because I just thought about it. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit in the news. Speaking of Fortnite, Paragon has been shut down, which is unfortunate. But I understood the reasoning behind it. They've shut down the production on Paragon. They basically
I believe the servers are going to shut down in March.
Yeah. And long story short, they're basically saying we realized that we can't keep a player base up and healthy with our game, and we couldn't. Basically, long story short, they were like, we can't compete with Fortnite.
Our own
Fortnite's game. Yeah, exactly. Fortnite is, and I think the reason is because how as amazing as Paragon is in regards to the graphics and look how cool things are. Fortnite is so accessible, and it's so easy for anyone of any age to just jump in. I mean, I'm playing with my nephew. He's absolutely loving it, and it's a balance of like it's cartoony enough that the parents aren't caring, Even though it is violent, there's not gore. It's
violence,
free.
But I mean, Looney Tunes. Let's be honest, is pretty violent.
Yeah, well,
But
Looney
it's
Tunes, you
cartoon
can see
violence, and it's presented.
yeah,
And yeah, the consequences are, poof, and you fall over, and Wile E. Coyote turns into an accordion. That's fine.
Exactly. I would argue that Looney Tunes is more violent than Fortnite. And I think the fact that Fortnite's free, the fact that it's cartoony, is the reason and the fact that it's almost like PlayerUnknown, that allows people to jump in and go, well, I could play PlayerUnknown, or I could play this for free, and it's fun. It's an easy choice.
Exactly.
And you know what's crazy to me, and I've been trying to frame this for Braden in regards to his understanding. He'll be on there and he's like, oh, I thought about buying this with my allowance and this with my allowance, and he's talking about buying skins, and he's talking about buying dances. For $5, like he can buy a certain dance. He bought a dance on there with real money. And one of his friends popped in, and his friend has, my guess, has spent $50 to $60 on the game, like in microtransactions. And this is a 9-year-old kid.
Yep.
And I'm trying to frame it to him, saying, well, is that really worth $50 or $60 to you, or would you rather have purchased like a full game like Grand Theft Auto or something, which he knows he can't play, but I'm just trying to say, you could buy any of these games on PlayStation, any of these games on Xbox, huge full games, awesome games. Or
if you wait on sales, you can get 2 or 3 of them.
Exactly. Or you can get the I think the dance that he's doing is called Fresh. It's the Carlton, which he absolutely loves, and I love it too. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to throw down $5.
I might throw $5 at
throw $5 for the Carlton. But the thing is, with this game, to me, it's not like World of Warcraft, where you have a community aspect where you're kind of hanging out and chatting like you did with EverQuest and other games. Yeah. This game is you jump in and you kill people, and even when you're in your squad, like we were in a squad of 4, you jump in and you're in your squad and other people are trying to kill you, but you don't have a lot of time where you can just hang out. And if you do, someone's going to find you. Yeah. So
there's no way, like, because my favorite part of the various MMOs that I played was creating the story of my character.
Yeah.
Does not have that. It's for better and worse, it's pure gameplay.
It is. And some games are okay. I think are okay with that. Yeah. In my opinion, this is okay. I just feel like what that does to me is, as an analytical adult, I decrease the value in cosmetics, and I decrease the value in dance moves and stuff like that, because is it going to not affect gameplay, but is it going to enhance my experience? How often am I going to break into the Carlton? Because if I shoot someone and then I break into the dance, I might get shot. So
and I feel like that the dances and emotes work better in a game like Destiny.
Yeah, because you have a
full price games that also has that, but like there is the social aspect that goes behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of social aspects, I love toys, and I think that Toys to Life was a thing for a while, and I think what happened was that the companies realized it's the toys that matter. It's not the to life that matters. Right. And Totaku is coming out. Totaku are the new Sony.
Nothing to do with Kotaku.
Nothing to do with Kotaku. Horrible naming. Why did they do this?
I don't know.
Okay, so we got Crash.
Maybe it means something in Japanese.
Maybe it does. So these are not Amiibos because they're for Sony. So they are Totakus. You can call them Sonybos.
There's also no NFC chips. Like it's just a figure, and that's perfectly fine because I will pay $10 for that. The Parappa looks like an eraser.
It does, but Parappa always looks like that. And then we got the God of War, Kratos. We got LittleBigPlanet, Sackboy. We got the Destiny thing.
I like that. I like that Heihachi.
Yeah, and I think both of us are going to get this.
That's not Destiny though. That's Wipeout.
Oh, is it Wipeout? Oh,
because Sony thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
well,
Destiny is not.
Oh well.
But more
We're
importantly, the hunter.
Yeah, I think we're
That's
both
the
getting
guy
this.
I'm getting. Yeah, and I'm gonna turn around so that I can see the the cover because it's like that's just how I see him. And
Oh yeah.
anytime that I'm looking up on the shelf, I'm gonna hear a shink in my head, and that's just how that's gonna go. And like
So good.
for $10, that is a reasonably priced item, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that Sony has done, because like if you go back to 4 or 5 episodes that we recorded on this channel, you can see that I have Bloodborne artwork of the Forbidden Forest. I have jackets, and this week they introduced sneakers, like PlayStation sneakers. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah. So I'm not paying $120 for them because no, but like they're exploring the idea of healthy way to latch into, you know, the fanboyism that Sony and Microsoft have. You know, it's like, yay, we love these characters and stuff. So like, you know, you give us like little Master Chiefs, and it's about the quality, because $10 is low enough that I'm concerned. but I'm still gonna buy it because it's only $10. But quality is not great. If the paint is just kind of splashed on, then that'll be the last one I get probably.
Well, you know, to me, I think you hit it on the head. For $10, it's not going to be the most detailed sculpt. The paint's probably not going to be amazing, but if you just put it up, then and it doesn't get knocked around, I think it's going to be okay. I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily do this, but I would consider on the Hunter and some others that you really like taking like a clear top coat paint and just going over it with some top coat.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah, so I may test that out and make sure it doesn't affect the paint. I don't think it will, but I think I may do that. I may test it and see if that's something to do, because honestly, that's a craft project that anybody can do. You're not going to hurt. You're not, as long as the paint doesn't affect the paint. The top coat doesn't affect the paint. Then if that works, I'll recommend it, because that's a way to preserve these things you like, and it's something anyone can do. You know, just put it on the table while you're watching Netflix or something, and you're not going to mess up the toy. You're not going to mess up the paint. Yeah, the look.
And it's a fun, creative project that, you know, like I don't have the time or the patience to do like a full Warhammer army, but I can appreciate the calming idea of having a craft like that where you're just meticulously working on the paint. So
yeah,
you know,
and
that's something that if the paint is bad enough, then yeah, sure, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I will say if I had all the money and the time in the world, I'd probably try Warhammer. Not that I'd get really into it, but I'd probably try it, because I'm like, every time I go and see people playing Warhammer, like at a what I would consider not crazy level, but like a moderate level of like intensity, it looks really fun. There's all these amazing miniatures. Madness up in Plano has a bunch of terrains and different things, so that way they have people come in and bring in all these miniatures, and it always looks amazing. And even Whitney is like, this looks kind of cool, just because it's just so vast. But I probably still, I don't know if I'd get into it, but I would try it. I don't know.
Briefly, have we tested the sound?
Yeah, I did. It sounds pretty good.
Okay, excellent.
I'll check it again as we talk about Game Pass, because it's another thing I think that everyone should try. This is something that we previously were kind of on the fence about, saying, you know, we don't know if it's really worth it. We don't know if the Game Pass model was really worth it, or the game is really worth it. Is this something that you're actually going to spend time playing? And now we can tell you, at least for the time being, yes. Because first-party games are going to be on there, meaning Microsoft first-party and Xbox
at launch.
At launch, you're going to be able to get any first-party Xbox games, right? On Games with Gold.
As I understand it, the one thing that I've been looking into, and with apologies to the audience, we're still not big enough to actually get attention a lot of times. But I've been trying to figure out if Ori and the Will of the Wisps will be included.
Yeah.
because that's one that's interesting to me. And we talked last week about Fable, and so if Fable comes to Xbox again, that would be a part of this.
Yeah.
And this year they've got what do they have? State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good games, and just with those 3, those are going to be full price games at launch.
Yeah.
So if you pay for 6 months, or if you pay for a full year,
yeah, it's 120 as opposed to 180.
If these were games, if these were games you're going to buy, you've saved yourself the money and time, and that's pretty awesome.
Exactly, and you can try out games without feeling. You can try out games, any games you want, without feeling like you've wasted your money, because it's it's kind of like the like buying 2 games or renting 2 games at Blockbuster a month back if you were as old as we are and you remember the Blockbusters, because I miss Blockbuster.
Gamefly exists, so that's still a thing.
It does, but I'd argue that.
But no.
I need things now. Speaking of things I need now, I need God of War now. Like right now. I'm gonna get it 420 though, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I can celebrate on 420. So this and something else is coming out 420. I'm trying to remember what it was. We were just talking
Super Troopers 2.
Yes, Super Troopers 2, yes. So you can play some God of War, watch Super Troopers 2, and have the happiest of 420s, because I can't wait.
Because God of War is going to be such a happy game.
Oh, it's gonna be so. It may not be happy, but it's gonna be trippy. And you know what? Nothing says trippy like 420. So I'm so excited about. I'm excited about this game. Every time that I see trailers, and every time that I see anything on it, it makes me more excited. Not about the gameplay. I know the gameplay is going to be good, but the story and looking at these. Mm-hmm.
Briefly, speaking of the story, this is something that I didn't notice for a long time, but this is canon Kratos, not a reboot. He still has his arms wrapped up from when he was wearing the chains of Olympus.
I didn't notice that. Well, hold on, but now he's in. So
I didn't. He's jumped mythologies, but it's still Kratos.
So did he just move north because he was like,
no,
I'm done with all this?
Well, I mean, he took out Olympus. I think he killed everyone. So, he's moved on to the next mythology. But it's fascinating to me. That was, it's just one of those things that I hadn't noticed. And so when somebody pointed it out, I was like, holy crap, yeah, those that like it's all wrapped around. And so it is still Kratos, and I'm really curious how they're going to do that story-wise.
Do you think that it's really Kratos, or do you think what's happening is they're showing some visuals to make us feel more comfortable about him being in a different environment?
Well, I think that they could have done that just with the Ghost of Sparta, the ash and the tattoos and all that stuff, like the where the chains of Olympus were. For me, that's significant enough that I think that it is actually Kratos in the.
I don't think it is until I hear what they say. Kratos, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it is until I want to see now. You know what may happen is the very beginning he may talk about his old life or something very briefly, and if he even mentions starting anew and this was his new life that he started. If he mentions that, I'll go. You know what? Good enough. If they don't. If he's just a guy, and then I'll be like, okay, it was just a cosmetic thing to give us that as fans of God of War. But if they even hint at him having a horrible past he doesn't want to talk about, boom, right there. So
makes sense. And God of War releasing 420, we actually had as part of our 2017 closed down 2018 predictions, we went through a bunch of games that didn't have release dates yet, and God of War was one that we were both confident was coming in calendar year 2018.
Yep.
And I think you might have also said that Anthem was not coming in 2018.
I did.
And as we predicted, it has been delayed.
Yep.
It's kicked back until after Christmas. and
winning.
that's fine. I feel like that it's bring it to me when it's done. Don't give me Andromeda again.
Same
but
here,
like
same.
they need to figure out their stuff, because notice in that initial reveal trailer of flying up into the sky and then diving down under the water, and my favorite part, honestly, my favorite part of the whole trailer was when the guy dove down into the water, and the water trails of the bullets going through the water. And because I've learned a little bit about how programming and rendering works, my brain went, wow, because water physics.
Yeah.
Water physics has been the benchmark for of how far we've come as far as tech, as far as graphics and all that kind of stuff. And so it was really neat to get to see that.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
That's been kicked back, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You know what I'm okay with?
What are you okay with, Patrick?
Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And in this case, John Cena's in negotiation to play Duke Nukem, and I think I'm okay with that, because I think he'll be able to. The Duke is not a very deep character. Neither is John Cena. The Duke is huge. So is John Cena. I think he'll be able to do it. And I can't think of. There's only a couple people other than him that I can think of that would pull it off, and some of them I would think are too old for the character as he's pictured here. We'll just see we'll see what they want to do here. I think that sorry, this is the trailer for Duke Nukem Forever being shown, but I think that I think there's a lot of people who are upset about it because Cena gets a lot of flack for being overhyped.
For being Cena?
For being crazy overhyped. But I will say I'm hopeful after seeing his work in what was the movie called? The one with Amy Poehler and
you mean Amy Schumer?
No.
The one with he was in the one with Amy Schumer and Bill Hader.
Yeah, he was in Trainwreck.
Trainwreck, yeah, that one.
He was in the one with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, where they're sisters.
I heard about that one.
It's good.
Ignored it almost immediately.
It's not. It's actually all right. It's better than Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Trainwreck was a train wreck.
It really was.
But
I tried twice and I just couldn't get into it.
It's horrible. It's horrible, and I watched the entire Amy Schumer stand-up special, the one that ruined Netflix ratings. If you don't know about that, I watched the entire thing, and it was cringeworthy. Do you know about that? Do you know about Netflix removing their ratings because of her?
Yeah, they moved it to the thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
Yep. Because people genuinely did not like that special, and she said that they were sexist, and a bunch of other people said they were sexist because they didn't like her. They said it's
so. Speaking of sexist, back to Duke Nukem.
Duke.
So I feel like that I'm curious where they're going to go with this. If you're going to go with a Duke Nukem who was cryogenically frozen, because you're going to have to do something to put Duke Nukem into today without it just being, wow, this should have stayed in the 90s. Like, they're going to have to do something with that. And
so it's going to be like the Doctor Who Christmas special, where it's just different people going, no, you can't say that, like over and over, like that mixed with Demolition Man.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. Last Action Hero meets Demolition Man. I will watch that.
Well, there you go. So we'll see what happens with that. But I feel like this is Randy Pitchford loves Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Like, so much does he love Duke Nukem.
Yeah. And
so if you were ever going to reboot it, you would be, I would guess. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, and we will let you know what comes up next. And with all those different elements getting thrown around, I mean, that it could be good.
It's almost like it's chemistry.
Speaking of elements,
Minecraft is bringing
Minecraft
chemistry. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Minecraft Education Suite is adding chemistry. I believe they had physics and I want to make up things, but I'm not going to.
It was organic,
but yeah, so
organic microbiology.
Nice. So yeah, Minecraft is continuing to branch out into other areas, other sections.
Yeah.
And that's pretty exciting to me. I like that idea.
I want to get into this.
And so
I like education.
Yeah, the chemistry element reminds me of those mobile games that you played, that not that you specifically played, that people played for a while, where you were like trying to mix and match different breed, the biggest baddest monster. Mm-hmm. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, so we don't know really much about it yet, but I appreciate that they're using this massive platform that reaches out to a certain demographic and a age that really works well, and teach them about chemistry. Yeah, do it.
I agree. More sciences and more science in a fun manner. And speaking of more science in a fun manner, PlayStation may or may not come out with some new controllers for their PSVR.
They have to. Those Move controllers are like coming up on a decade old.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, move into the next thing. And so they have filed the patent, and it looks very similar to the Move controllers, but in a much more articulated and much more nuanced way. And so I think that if they can get this to market, this is absolutely something that PSVR has needed badly.
And really, the big difference here is the face buttons. I think the ergonomic design, like, I actually like this. I obviously can't feel it in my hand right now, but the added face buttons, I think, are completely needed. You still have the analog sticks. I feel like they're in a better position here. But it looks like they have two triggers on, or some type of sensor here on the trigger, because I can't. We don't have the full design document, but on the trigger it looks like there may be two buttons, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, added 3 face buttons on that is amazing, because that's on. I think that's on both. Depending on the game, obviously the developers are going to have to deal with that portion. But this is definitely needed, because the Move controllers are too simple. They're too simplistic, because I think they were trying to go with something that's intuitive that you don't have to think about because you can't see it.
They were also trying to bring down the cost, because at launch PSVR was like $600, right?
For the full kit, right?
So So they were trying to figure out. They there's no way they didn't have warehouses full of Move controllers that they needed to get rid of, and so I feel like that it was primarily a cost-based decision.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, but we need to move on, and this they did a slight redesign of the PSVR that makes it a little bit less clunky. But the Move controllers and upgrading those, that's what PSVR really needed. Mm-hmm. And so we're moving forward with that.
Speaking of moving forward, Nintendo's moving forward and getting rid of Miitomo.
Yes.
This was out for, what, a year?
If you could have one wish granted, what?
No, it's been longer than that.
I thought Miitomo's
been around for a while.
Maybe I'm thinking of like the mobile version or something, but like I never got into it. I think you tried it out, but
I actually liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I thought it wasn't needed. I don't know. I just didn't get into it. I haven't gotten into the online bits for Nintendo for quite a while, because I don't think they're focused at me. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I liked it because it was a bunch of random questions, and those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, or I came up with totes for the channel. Like, I love random questions. Oh, yeah. So it originally launched March 17th, 2016. So it will have been around for about 2 years.
Okay, that was off a little bit.
Yeah,
but I mean,
only by a factor of 100%. Not that bad.
That's not that bad. But I mean, I don't know. I never felt like it had its place. I think what we've realized is that for a platform developer like Nintendo or Sony, what they need to do is they need to give us intuitive and easy access into a party system or a chat system, and then get everything else out of the way. Anything else?
Well, it kind of felt like if they had used it to the things, like if you played Animal Crossing, then you could bring your outfit from there into it. If you played the Mario Run Jump whatever game, auto scroll, then you'd be able to like put up a poster for each world that you beat. You know, if they had it in, cool. But as a standalone social work.
What you're describing is what they did on Xbox 360 for the Avatar system.
Exactly.
And that was fun because if you liked Dragon Age and you got Dragon Age and you played a certain amount, then you got some armor, you got a T-shirt. I ended up finding a specific Avatar outfit and just sticking with it. But you could have customized so much on there, and I think that developers are realizing that they need to let the games do a lot of that in regards, but I think Xbox and PlayStation have really good party systems now that I think Nintendo needs to jump on. I know that Nintendo's worried that people are going to get on there and curse and say all kinds of things, but it's not up to me. I don't think it's up to Nintendo to police that. It's up to the parents. It's up to whoever's playing to police that. We need an open and free Nintendo.
I like the idea of them doing something like they've done with Overwatch and a couple of other online games, where they've put people who are willing to use mods to cheat to whatever, like those people just get put into their own ecosystem, and then the other one stays clean. And I realize that that's a little bit of extra work, but I think that it's better than using to move forward in the way that has, because let's be honest, they've still figured out a way to get pictures of questionable material still showed up in Miitomo, so don't try to tell me you've got a solution there.
I don't think there's a solution, and I don't think that it's up to Nintendo to create the solution. I mean, the way that like I've mentioned before, my nephew plays online games. I'm sure you know other kids that play online games. He plays online games. He does voice chat with online games, but he does it with friends. His mother and I and others have told him, okay, if you don't know the person, you don't tell them who you are. You use your online name.
Specific information.
You don't get into specific. If they start if someone does jump on voice and they say anything, it's them just trolling you. Either log off or tell us whatever it is. But usually what he ends up doing is he ends up playing with his friends, or even friends that he meets online. And if you're worried about that, honestly, what my sister does is she, unless I'm playing with him, she usually tells him to not use the headphones, so that way she can hear what they're saying. Yeah. So
and that's the thing, and as a parent, I can say that because I know you're not too terribly worried about your girls hearing swear words. I don't think they have the vocal. Well, that too. Yeah. But like I think that as parents and speaking as a parent, like it's my job to train them the same way that I've trained them to recognize the difference between mobile games. So we have a couple more videos coming out this week. We're going to do a main topic where we're going to discuss Game Pass a little bit more and what it means for the future of the industry. Exactly. And then we have first impressions on Monster Hunter and Celeste, both games which came out this week. So that's the news we have for this week. And let us know in the comments if we missed anything. And if you follow up on this later in on Facebook or whatever, we will be trying to actively make sure that we catch those comments, like Cheech in the comments who said #mute the kids, and I'm like, yeah, kinda. So that's what we have for this week, and we will see you next time on This Week.
Have a good one
in our collective heads.
Yeah.
thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.